Greetings, fellow men of culture. As always, I'm broadcasting live from the peak of Thundercock Mountain. We've been experiencing a reckoning of sorts when it comes to live service games and their struggles. Everyone wants that Fortnite money. No matter how many times gamers tell companies like Sony, Wildlight, and Bungie that we don't want yet another live service game to split our attention and time in order to play, they shake their heads and smush soft dicks in their ears and pretend like they can't hear us. They can search the entire earth. From the peak of Thundercock Mountain to the depths of your mom's cavernous vagina, the formula for making a successful live service game in the current market boils down to a massive amount of luck. To my creamy delight, turns out even the king of the entire model isn't doing so well these days. World of Warcraft taught me that no king rules forever. Eventually you'll get syphilis or someone will stick a carrot in your ass or something. Epic Games, creator of the best example of nearly everything wrong with modern gaming, is experiencing some butthole puckering tough titmouse times. Real quick, I want to thank my first and so far only channel member, Dawson the Hole, as well as Holden Thompson for sending super chats during live streams. You two are true men of culture and you're welcome on Thundercock Mountain anytime. Following over 800 jobs being sent to the Shadow Realm back in September of 2023, Epic Games announced in March of 2026 that 1,000 jobs will be flushed down Tim Sweeney's gold-plated toilet. A note was sent to Epic employees on March 24th that reads, "Today we're laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. I'm sorry we're here again." The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded. It's hard to imagine that one of the biggest, most successful live service games ever made is struggling so badly that the company that makes it needs to cut thousands of salaries, plus a further 500 million cost savings from other parts of the company to get to a more stable place. This isn't any live service game. This is Fortnite.
This is crack.
The big boy with the big bouncy balls. The term Battle Pass became synonymous with a seasonal unlock event mechanic in all live service and mobile games. Every game calls their pass something different like Fighting Pass or Honor Pass, but Fortnite is so popular and so commonly associated with the mechanic that everyone knows what you mean when you say Battle Pass, regardless of what game you're talking about. My dad was coming to visit the kids and I one day. He called me and said he was grabbing a coffee on the way and would I like anything. I said I wanted the Fortnite Battle Pass and he called me a homo.
A lot of people on YouTube, you're calling me a homo.
Fortnite is solely responsible for thrusting open the sloppy floodgates towards monetization and time-sink methods in gaming. Yes, we already had things like daily login bonuses and pay-to-skip timers in mobile games, but Fortnite took a daily 15-second chore you could do on the battle bus and require you to play the game. Not just boot up the game and collect your spinster tchotchkes. You had to put dozens of hours of playtime to complete the pass before it expires and goes away forever. This led to crazy high player retention numbers that executives could point to during investor meetings. This one insidious method was so effective that it's now in tons of AAA games. Arguably the games that need further monetization the least are the ones with time-sink mechanics like a battle pass. Fortnite was a massive cultural touchstone. You couldn't escape the memes and videos of students doing the stupid dances from the game. This game is such a money-printing machine that brands and media companies were jumping at any chance to do a crossover with the game. In a world that already contains NBA and NHL games, a stupid battle royale game may be the biggest brand dicksucker in all of video games. You can play as Goku, a cosmic-level threat to multiple universes only matched in power by SpongeBob unraveling existence itself, getting shot in the face by Ice Spice, a fetal alcohol syndrome person.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
This game acted as a stage for several performers over the years, including Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, and Metallica.
Kirk is gay, Robert's gay, Lars is gay, but the gayest is Jay.
If the biggest game of the last 10 years, one that is so influential it changed how the entire industry monetized their games and monopolized player time, was so huge in popular culture its cum dumpster overflowed into all other aspects of media, is somehow not making money, then the live service model is doing way worse than I thought. While Fortnite is no longer the #1 highest grossing game in the world, that title belongs to Roblox now, it still earned $3.5 billion in 2023. The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making. How big of a downturn occurred that caused a multi-billion-dollar company to lay off 1,000 people? And if a company as big as Epic, with a product like Fortnite, needs to lay people off, Where does that leave the multitudes of other live service games that barely sniff the taint of Epic's success? If the biggest live service game that has spread its roots all throughout pop culture somehow isn't making enough money to justify keeping Sony developers, we may finally start to see the shift in how games are monetized. Hopefully for the better, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Everyone is aware of the greatest hits of live service failures at this point. Concord was such a big floppy donkey dick it created its own timeline. Highguard came and went like an inconvenient boner. And Marathon, well, not necessarily a low-quality game, didn't sell very well. 1.2 million copies from the studio that created a money black hole in Destiny 2, published by Sony. I know it doesn't even have a release date yet, but it seems Horizon Hunter's Gathering fate is set in stone at this point. I predict it's going to get torn to pieces if it ever comes out. Battlefield 6 seemed promising when it launched, but couldn't keep up the momentum. Black Ops 7 is one of the worst selling titles in the series. Despite the high budgets and marketing, these games aren't landing the way publishers hoped they would. Established franchises that successfully rip players off every year are starting to struggle. There's a downward trend for these normally hugely successful live service games. This may be wishful thinking on my part, but I honestly hope we're seeing the beginning of the end for these kinds of games. Sony gambled big on the live service model, only to cancel nearly a dozen upcoming games because Concord did so poorly. Highguard's downfall had a spotlight on it the entire time. These failures were so infamous, it exposed the oversaturation of live service games. The general gaming audience is not getting drawn in anymore. The live service model is exhausting. The amount of juggling and time management someone needs to play more than one is way more than these games can ask for. More than one is the issue. Anybody that is interested in a battle royale, extraction shooter, or ARPG already has their game. Apex Legends players that have already purchased multiple season passes and character skins are very unlikely to try another game, let alone drop Apex Legends entirely. The same goes for Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, and Arc Raiders. There's only so much player attention and time to go around. New live service games aren't offering any good reasons for players to drop their main game. The handful of really big live service games we have right now are all we really need. Very rarely does a player have time for more than one. I realize the circumstances surrounding all these games are different, but if the current king is ailing, that can't be good for all the gross serfs groveling for scraps. This is definitely my bias talking, but I truly hope we're seeing the first cracks in the live service model. While I'm not happy that so many individuals lost their jobs, I can't deny seeing the cause of so much of gaming's problems start to falter gives me a small sense of joy. I'm not sitting in the bathroom pulling my little pecker and spooging into my wife's towel at the thought Fortnite running into problems is a good thing for gamers. Fortnite seemed indestructible until Epic announced the layoffs. 1,000 employees plus another $500 million in savings elsewhere. This proves that even a juggernaut like Fortnite isn't immune to decay. This news will hopefully cause a ripple effect across the entire industry that any game will eventually fall off. If Fortnite isn't making it, then yet another random live service thing squirted out to the public has no chance. We may soon start to see a pivot in game design in the next few years. Big companies like EA, Microsoft, and Sony will never fully abandon the idea of a live service game, in the off chance they create a hit. Recent releases have proven that you can make a solid, contained single-player experience and have it be a huge success. Crimson Desert is the most polarizing game to come out in years. There's tons of discussion about its quality, story, and controls. Despite all that, the game has hit nearly 5 million copies sold, with a Switch 2 port on the way, which caused Pearl Abyss's stock price to skyrocket. More of this, please. With the current king struggling enough to justify laying off 1,000 employees, this might be the first step to the end of live service gaming. Then we can finally see what other scummy business practices these publishers have been working on. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. If you want to watch a video about how WWE 2K26 is screwing its players over, check out the video on screen and I'll see you in the next one.